Good afternoon. I'm meteorologist Alex Puckett. Right now we're breaking in for live severe weather coverage. Tornado emergency in place for central Winston County. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. We've got this storm here. Let's jog this just to the east if we can, Scott. This radar image a little bit to the east. Scott Sinkoff back working radar for me right there. That's perfect. We've got this large supercell thunderstorm producing a large violent tornado on the ground moving towards Noxapater, Center Ridge, and Louisville. If you're listening to me on the radio in those areas or watching me right now, you need to be in your safe place right now. This is State Highway 25 here that runs through Louisville back up towards Starkville. Nobody needs to be traveling on that. State Highway 14, that runs off towards Noxubee County. This is State Highway 21 down here, and this is State Highway 397. Nobody needs to be traveling on the highways right now in Winston, Noxubee, Southern Oktibbeha, and southwestern Lowndes counties right now. If you're listening to me in those areas on the radio, pull off the road and find sturdy shelter. Let's zoom in a little bit closer. I want to get this area here a little bit closer because this is impacting some pretty large population centers in Winston County. So let's zoom in a little bit if we can, Scott. This is that hook echo there. Let's jog it off to the west just a little bit and clear those roads off. That's perfect, right? Oh, a little bit too far. This will work right here. Let's pull up the velocity product. Again, we have strong indication of a tornado right here. We have spotter confirmation of a tornado now on the ground causing damage. And again, this is going to be coming awfully close. The Louisville Country Club sits right here. That tornado is coming right for the Louisville Country Club. And something we've noticed over the past radar scan or two, past 3 to 5 minutes, is this storm has started to take more of a northeasterly turn, northeasterly turn. It had been moving more east-northeast, now moving more north-northeast. So let's draw a storm track. Very strong indication of a tornado right here. This is moving off to the northeast fairly quickly. Center Ridge, Louisville, Mill Creek, Noxapater, safe place right now. Lowest floor of your home, away from doors and windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. If you're in a mobile home or you're in a car, those are not adequate shelter. Tornadoes will toss those things like toys. You need to get into a more sturdy building. Also, if you have a bicycle helmet, motorcycle helmet, any kind of helmet to protect your head or your children's heads, put those on right now. I know this sounds a little bit scary. Keep it tuned right here. We're going to keep you through this, okay? We're going to get through this, but we're going to have to take our tornado precautions in the path of this storm because ultimately this thing is producing a large, violent tornado. Let's look at the bear and shear rate. And again, this can be a little bit confusing to people. These bright greens next to these bright reds, those are an indication of rotation, but this is a little bit easier to see. These bright reds here, these two strips here, that's where the radar is seeing strong rotation, the spin within the storm. That is moving towards Center Ridge, Louisville. If you're in Noxapater right now, you need to be in a safe place too. It appears to be lifting just to the northern part, just to the north of town. Having said that, these storms have continued to turn to the left and right of the mean flow today, so you need to be in a safe place right now. Let's pop the reflectivity back on because we're getting some information from the Weather Service that's a bit troubling about this area right here. Let's circle this pink blob here, Scott, at the bottom of this hook echo. Again, here's that heavy rain, and that's wrapping back around a rotation, a little bit closer in, that area right in there. This area right here, and again, you see the shear marker popping up showing we've got rotation. And let's look at the correlation coefficient. This is brand new technology we have in the MSU Weather Center that allows us to see what's falling on the ground. These bright reds and purples and pinks, as well as those yellows, indicate rain or hail or snow. But when we see these really dark blues here close to rotation, that's when we get concerned because this is a tornado debris signature. We are seeing pieces of 2x4s, plywood, nails, glass, trees, whatever, getting lifted up into this storm, and the radar is seeing that and telling us that that is not rain or hail. This is debris in the air. That is where your tornado is right now, and it's moving off to the northeast at about 60 miles an hour towards Center Ridge and Louisville. If you're watching me right now, Louisville Country Club, This thing's on top of you. You need to be in your safe place 5 minutes ago. If you're watching us over in downtown Louisville, over towards the east, there's several subdivisions over here and towards the Louisville Hospital. You need to be in your tornado safe place. Louisville Hospital, if you're watching me right now, you need to be going through your tornado safety plan. We don't want anybody to panic with this thing, but we do want you to take this seriously. This is a life-threatening situation. Now keep it tuned right here. We're going to get you through this, but you got to take your tornado precautions in Noxapater, Center Ridge, and Louisville. This is State Highway 14, runs right through Louisville, from east to west. State Highway 397 coming out from Noxubee County, and it moves off from the southeast to northwest through Louisville. This is State Highway 15 that runs from Noxapater to Center Ridge to Louisville and points north. This is State Highway 25 that moves back up towards Starkville. So again, this is our area of concern. This thing's going to cross State Highway 15 really close to Center Ridge and downtown Louisville. And again, this is not a day where I want to zoom in on really close streets. If you're in Noxapater right now, you need to be in a safe place, Center Ridge. I don't want to zoom in too far because this is a day where this tornado is large and it's going to impact a wide area. We're not going to be able to say this street's clear and this street isn't. This is State Highway 14. Let's zoom back out and go back to the reflectivity data. We should have a new radar scan now. So let's look at that. And again, this storm is taking a more of a northward turn, and we see that. Let's pull our map down so we can see Louisville, because this thing's heading right for downtown Louisville. And with that new scan, really concerned, especially now east of Highway 15. This thing is bearing down on you, but if you're in Louisville right now, you need to be in a safe place. Over towards the McDonald's. The McDonald's and the KFC are right about here where these highways intersect. The hospital's off to the east a bit, and this tornado is moving in that direction. So right now, everybody in Center Ridge and Louisville needs to be in a safe place right now. Okay, this is not a storm to mess around with. We don't take this tone of voice very often. But this is a day where we talked about the opportunity for a couple of strong, long-track tornadoes, and this is one of them on the ground right now, moving towards downtown Louisville. And again, we're not trying to scare you. We don't want anybody to panic, but this is a situation that everybody needs to take seriously. You can keep it tuned right here, and we're going to keep you up to date, but we got to take care of a little bit of station business. We'll be right back for more information, but before we go, Center Ridge, Louisville, you need to be in your safe place right now. We'll be right back in just a few moments.